How y'all doing tonight? Tonight we're going to make a good, wholesome, down-home comfort food dish. We're going to take some nice beef or ground beef, braise it in some onions and beer, and we're going to serve it underneath some mashed potatoes, make like a casserole, almost like a cottage pie or something like that. Y'all, it's going to be real good. Starting out, I got some ground chuck, some fresh ground chuck over here browning. And I've got some potatoes over here I'm just slow cooking. We'll make some nice mashed potato topping. Okay, so I brown the beef down. I'm going to set it aside. Yeah, I'm going to put in some chopped onions. I'm just going to saute those down. And then the onions, the water's kind of cooked out of them. And they're starting to caramelize, not really caramelize, but cook down a little bit. I'm going to add some tomato paste. A couple nice scoops of that. That's going to get us some good flavor in here. I'm going to stir this around for a minute and just let it kind of simmer at the bottom there. And that's going to bring that sweet flavor out of that tomato paste. And when I stir that around, I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to stir that in there too. I'm just going to keep stirring it. That way that nothing burns. Now I got my butter melted. I'm going to add a little Worcestershire sauce, probably a couple tablespoons. Stir that around. Some thyme. Got some dried thyme here. That'll give some good flavor. Add that in there. Then I'm going to add some flour. Put this flour in here. This is what we're going to use for a thickener later. Which will help to get a nice thick gravy. So got this flour mixed in here. Everything real thick. So we kind of let it cook a little bit. See, it's kind of making like a roux in there. A real thick roux though. Yeah, I'm going to add some beef broth. Or beef stock actually. That's about a cup or so. Just enough to get this all mixed together. Now I got that little bit of stock mixed in. I'll add a little bit more. Make sure you're scraping everything up off the bottom. Nothing to burn here. We're still on pretty low heat. And I'm going to turn up to about a medium. And just a little bit more stock. Now I got a nice beer here. Nice beer that I enjoy. I've got about 8 ounces of it that I'm going to put in here. Stir that on in. Oh yeah. Yes, it's bringing in some really nice flavors. Like I said, we just want to make sure we scraped every little bit of that flour and everything up off the bottom. I don't want none of that to burn. Everything's going to just bring wonderful flavors here. Add a little bit more stock. Now I'm going to pour the beef back in. Stir this beef in here. Got a nice thick sauce. We had to add a little bit more of the stock. That's okay. A little piece of rosemary. I put that in there. Get that out later. Just add some flavor. Now I'm gonna bring this to a simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Almost forgot. I also want to add a can of this corn here with green and red bell peppers. Stir that in. Whole kernel corn. About a half a can of sweet peas. Early peas. Well, that's simmering. I'm going to mash up the potatoes. I put a little bit of butter in there. I'm going to put a little bit of kosher salt. I'm just going to salt the taste with these here in just a bit. Now I'm going to put some garlic powder. I'm just about like that. I'm going to get the masher. Potato ricer actually is what this is. And squash them up here. I want these a little bit creamier than they are, of course. If I had some sour cream, you could add it, that'd be good too. Just want to add a little bit of milk to them. And just mash that on in there. It's all mashed up, just want to taste them for salt and pepper. Tastes good. So I'm going to leave them like that. I'm going to use this for a topping here in just a bit. I think I'll add just a hair of Cajun seasoning to these potatoes. I think that'll give them a nice little kick. So to my pot over here simmering, I'm going to add a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Kick it up a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of minced garlic. A little bit. That'll be enough. Stir that on in. Okay, so I've been cooking the filling here, or the beef, for about 30 minutes. We'll go ahead and take this piece of rosemary out so it doesn't get lost in there. Let this simmer just a few more minutes. And look, it's getting so nice and just smooth. That beef and everything, almost like a really good chili. And then we're going to put it in the pan. Now that the beef filling's been cooking for long enough to cook the alcohol out and stuff like that, and the beer, and give it a nice smooth texture. I'm spooning it off. I've got this this pan here, just a Pyrex. I'm going to spoon it off in this Pyrex. I would say you could just dump it, but then again, we may not need all this. I want to get the precise amount in here, and I'll show you here in a minute. So I did end up using half the mixture. That's kind of where you want it there, about halfway up the pan. And now we'll go with the topping. Okay, so I got my mashed potatoes over here, and got my good meat base. This is kind of the hardest part, but you got to kind of get used to it. The easiest way I found to do it is kind of make just the potato cakes. Say cakes, you know, just take a glob of them, kind of smash them out in your hands. Just lay them side by side here on top. That's the best way to get coverage, because you can't, I like the potatoes, you know, you want the potatoes a little thicker, so you can't just pour them over the top. You do it just kind of like this, press them out to where it's not just huge humps on the top. I think this is the best way to do it. You just cover your whole top. As you can see, I got pretty good coverage on there. Now, before I pop it in a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you something. I know I probably put a little bit too much filling in there. It's going to spill over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this in cookie sheet. Now, I'm not done yet. Hold on. To that cookie sheet, I'm going to add a little bit of water. That way, if this spills over, it's going to be no huge deal. It's not going to get all over my oven, and then with this little bit of water here, it's not going to just burn, start a fire on a cookie sheet. So 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes. Alright, it's been in there for 30 minutes, and look at the potatoes, some nice little brown peaks on top. Now, pop it out. What we're going to do, if I can get this bag open, put a little sharp cheddar on top. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This nice big sharp cheddar cheese on top of here, on top of the potatoes. Now I'm going to pop it back in there for about 5 or 10 minutes, let this cheese just melt. Oh wow, it only took about 5 more minutes to melt that cheese. I'm going to put a little bit of paprika on top just for color. Add a little bit of flavor here. Color mainly though. And that's awesome right there. I mean, that is a beautiful dish. We had this actually the other night, so I know it's great. I'm making this for a couple of friends we're having over tomorrow for lunch. I'm going to go ahead and have it made. This is going to be fantastic. It's fantastic reheated too. Everything just kind of just really mellows together well. It's an easy, inexpensive dish you can make for you and your family. And it has a complex taste of that nice beer in there cooked with the onions and it's slow cooked with the beef. The potatoes are just perfect for something like this. Just cooked up nice stiff peaks with the melted cheese. Anyway, you got to try this one. Hope y'all enjoy. Hey, what the heck? We can get a small taste. We want to make sure there's might be something wrong with it, you know. Go in here and just give us a little baby taste here tonight. This show is hot. This is going to be good. Oh yeah. A lot of flavor there, y'all. A lot of flavor. That's good stuff. You really need to try it.